Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Hey now, these allergies are going to it's giving me more of a radio voice than I actually have in real life. Pete Verra, senior BOF contributor. Pete Verra, how are you, sir?
You're not a Claritin user?
I am.
Did you take it?
No, I took it this morning. It's just
You gotta wait that half hour.
it's got to kick in, man. It's this time of year. This is the I am Jett Ramey, the founder of Batman on Film, and this is the Batman on Film Social Hour. Show number 35. This is the Calvin Hill episode of the Batman on Film Social Hour. You know who Calvin Hill is, Pete?
No, I do not.
Calvin Hill was a running back from Yale University. He played for the Dallas Cowboys from 69 to 75 or
Favorite
4.
player of yours?
I remember him as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He was running back for the Cowboys. And he is someone's father who is famous. Do you know who his son is? Also an athlete.
No.
Professional athlete. Not
No.
football. Basketball.
Basketball player. No. Oh, is it? I don't know. Who is it?
Grant Hill.
Oh, really? Good for him.
Yeah.
That's good. Those are good genes.
Exactly. Yes. Calvin Hill is Grant Hill's dad. So
Grant Hill could have been really special if he didn't have those ankle injuries.
yeah, Grant Hill was a player, man. So yeah, that's his dad. He still works for the Cowboys, actually. Calvin Hill. He's in charge of their works with players when they have issues or the whole anything that get on the personal level of players and help them out.
He must be pretty busy. I feel like these guys are always in trouble.
Yeah, so he's a good dude, apparently. So, is something going on this Saturday on the 16th?
Oh, we got a lot going on this weekend.
Because I heard, and I don't know if this is true. I threw it out on Twitter the other day just to see. I heard there's going to be this event, and we may get a trailer for the Batman. Is that right? Is that for real?
We might not only get a trailer for the Batman, we might actually see Keaton back in the suit for the first time since 1992.
What's this called?
This is called
Is it
FanDome.
Oh, it's DC FanDome. According to Dick Shoes, it's DC FanDome.
You know what? I would have expected him to say it's FanFest. So at least he's in the ballpark.
It just leaves off that E, right?
Yeah.
At the end. Yes, DC FanDome 2021 is this Saturday, and it is a 4-hour event, correct, Pete?
Thank God. Last year's was too long, too many days, a lot of content. It was good for fans, but it was tough to keep track for those who were keeping track.
A little bit too much last year, I thought.
Yeah. But considering last year we were kind of like mid lockdown, it was kind of a nice little distraction.
Yeah.
So,
and it was, since it's been a year, this is the second installment of this virtual fan convention that, they probably tweaked it a bit and said, here's what worked, here's what didn't. We'll make it a 4-hour event. And, about almost a little bit longer than a college football game lasts if you're going to watch one on a Saturday afternoon. So, hold people attention more. So let's talk about what's going to go down there. We'll start with the Batman stuff. I mean, the Batman in general. We know we're getting a presentation for the Batman with Matt Reeves, Zoe Kravitz, Robert Pattinson. I'm expecting others as well who have not been announced. I'll bet. And we're also going to get a trailer, the new trailer for the Batman.
Yes.
So that's probably, I think that's probably the headlining event, right?
It was last year, and they only had about 25% of the movie filmed, so that was quite the impressive feat, putting that trailer together with not a whole lot of footage. It's going to be very interesting to see what Mr. Reeves has up his sleeve now that the movie is, in post. He's got it entirely filmed, so I'm sure he's just tweaking it, and they're doing little things. But it'll be interesting to see what they have for us. I would actually like to hear from Giacomo just about the score.
Yeah,
I'd like that because the bits and pieces we got a little bit on Batman Day. Obviously, that first trailer, I just would like to hear him talk just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but and hopefully we'll see Alfred in non-Lego form.
Yes, I'm gonna bring that up about the Lego sets in a moment. So that were released, but we'll stay on FanDome for now. So yeah, I mean that's the headlining event for sure. And there's some other stuff. Speaking of Batman, of course, there's going to be a presentation for the Flash, and Michael Keaton is playing Batman. That's the big thing, the big Batman thing in that film. Even though Ben Affleck is doing what amounts to is a pretty much like a cameo in the film. But I think all the bat buzz is around Keaton returning as Batman for the first time in 30 years. Dude's 70 years old and playing Batman. Looks good too. Looks good for 70. Oh, Michael Keaton. Yeah. So
I hear the bat suit still fits.
Yeah, he said it fits. So speaking of that, the movie is a year plus. I mean, it's 13 months away from the Flash. You think they show Keaton in the bat suit this early, or
we'll get some sort of teaser, right? I mean,
yeah.
I just it is a year away. I forget how they do things anymore because I feel like it's changed recently. Just how they release trailers and teasers and stuff. The timelines are different, but I think we should get I feel like we're getting a teaser for everything at least, right? Like,
yeah, a
lot of these movies, including like stuff like Black Adam and Shazam too, are finished filming. So I imagine we'll get sneak peeks. I don't think we'll get anything crazy, but if Matt Reeves can make a trailer out of 25% of a movie, I feel like he set the precedent for everybody else.
So I think there was some stuff leaked a while back from the Flash, and it was a lot, and I won't get into details. And I believe it's either stuff that's going to be, included in the Blu-ray release, or like some of the featurettes, or it's something they were doing for FanDome. And it was a lot of production art type stuff, not straight up.
I was
shots.
Lucky enough to stay away from that.
Yeah. So I don't know if I personally, I'd love to get a look at Keaton in the suit.
Yeah. But
I won't be completely bummed out if they save that for later. But I think it's a good time. I mean, look, Matt Reeves did the camera test, quote unquote, with Pattinson in the suit, and that was what, January of 20? Was it even? It? Yeah, or is it 19? My gosh.
Man, my my timelines are all screwed up.
Yeah.
Barry. So I don't know, but I remember, I wouldn't mind seeing something. He was completely absent from the last FanDome. It was a lot of Ezra Miller, a lot of Muschietti.
Yeah.
So I would imagine he would at least speak, right? I just figured they'd have one of, something to him saying something. I just, because he's the big draw,
Sure.
I love the Flash, but getting Keaton in there really gets my gears going. That was my Batman growing up.
Yeah.
So I'm more than excited to see him return, which I never thought would be possible.
Yeah, that's definitely the draw for the Flash, and
hopefully you find a little bit more about the movie. Like, I mean, I know it's a
Yeah.
typical Flash movie. Barry goes and breaks the timeline, blah blah blah. He's got to fix things, but who's the real villain? Is it Reverse Flash? Is it Captain Cold? I don't know who it is. Is Captain Boomerang going to come back? There are lots of questions I have here. I want to know who the big bad guy is, and stuff like that. So I imagine that stuff will be kind of revealed a little bit.
Okay.
At least like the plot of the movie.
Yeah. Okay. So we got those two things. I'm interested also in getting. They're going to give a little look at Batman: The Caped Crusader animated series that's going to be on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see just some footage of what just what it's going to look like. And moving, or maybe I don't know how far along they are in the development process of it, and but since they're going to have it there, I suspect they're going to show us something. So I am looking forward to that quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think what else Batman
Gotham
is
Knights,
coming.
the video game.
Yeah,
I'd like to see something from that.
My son Micah from Colonnade Broadcasting, which is also affiliated with Batman on Film. He's a big time PS PlayStation gamer dude, and he talks about games and stuff and PlayStation stuff on his show. He's like said, this game's going to suck. He's not high on this game for
really.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I want to check it out. I'll give it a shot, but I'm looking forward to that. And what's it called? The Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. I believe that game's coming out too. Yeah. So a little sneak peek of that would be nice. I don't know.
I'm trying to think what else Batman related is going to be at FanDome. Help me out if you can think of anything before we talk about some of the other stuff. Is that about it?
I think that's it.
Are they doing anything
related?
Are they going to do anything for the Batgirl movie? HBO
I don't know.
Max movie?
I don't remember. I thought the only Batgirl stuff we were going to get.
Yeah,
was
I didn't see. I don't remember.
Knights.
I looked over the press release that I got back then when they first announced it a few months ago, whatever, and I didn't see anything specifically about that movie, even though I know it's starting to film over in. I
wouldn't be surprised if
UK.
Leslie Grace or the directors made some sort of quick cameo. Just, hey, look, we're excited. We're going to bring something fresh. And, I think, we'll all be really excited about that type thing. So I don't think it'll be anything crazy, teaser, trailer. I don't know. Maybe they'll say, hey, look, this is Batgirl's suit. This is what our Batgirl will look like in costume. That would be nice. But, anything from that would be just icing on the cake.
All right. Other than the Batman stuff that's going to be at FanDome, you already mentioned Black Adam. So what else are you interested in seeing? I guess more like DC on film wise.
Black Adam and Shazam. I don't know what from Aquaman 2 we'll possibly see either. Because I know they just started filming. So maybe again, you'll get Momoa and Juan, and they'll just say how excited they are and blah blah and what they're going to bring to the table. But I'm excited for Shazam too, because we don't really, again, we know who the villains kind of are. They're not like big, they're not like A-listers, I'd say. So, it'd be nice to just kind of get like the plot of that movie and see where that franchise is going forward. And, Black Adam, does it connect to Shazam? Does it not? Is there eventually going to be a Shazam versus Black Adam film?
Oh, there's got to be. I mean, I can't even fathom them being separate because
it's interesting. So we'll see. And,
I mean, even the Black Adam suit is reminiscent of Captain Marvel. Damn it!
Yeah, it's just interesting that David F. Sandberg has literally nothing to do with Black Adam.
Yeah,
right. So it's kind of like you figure he might, considering Black Adam plays in that sandbox.
And they teased Black Adam in the first Shazam movie.
They did. So I got nothing but positive things. I'm just very excited. I think FanDome's going to be pretty intense, and
I am excited to get a look at the Justice Society, especially Dr. Fate. And I was doing some research on that, and it seems like most of their costumes are CGI, especially Dr. Fate and stuff. So interested to see what he looks like, and I'm trying to think what else. Black Adam, Shazam. I guess, I think you've covered. Those are the things I'm more interested in seeing. Some of the other smaller things are not really. Yeah, I'm not the target audience anyway for some of this stuff. So
I don't know if they're doing too much with TV either. Like last year, they had a whole segment of FanDome dedicated to the CW and stuff, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that.
That's starting to phase out a bit, isn't it? The DC shows on the CW.
kind of like Supergirl's at the end of its season, but then Superman and Lois took kind of
well, they do Superman and Lois because they've got
So Flash is going strong. I think Flash was renewed for another season.
Is this it for the Flash?
I don't think so.
Man, they've kind of ran that thing.
I still enjoy it. Let's see. Batwoman got another season. So I don't know. I think this, Legends of Tomorrow, I believe, is still going. So they're still going strong.
Yeah. Is there anything coming? Because that's just not my area of expertise. Are they doing anything else? Are these things they're starting to do more things for HBO Max with DC live action DC stuff as opposed to the CW?
I feel like the CW is for shows, whereas HBO Max is going to be for like these movies, like Batgirl.
Yeah.
Right. Doom Patrol and Titans also, like they started on. It seems like they started on DC Universe, so they kind of were like grandfathered in. But
Doom Patrol feels like something that belongs on a HBO Max, a streaming.
You can't do that on network TV.
Yeah, and Peacemaker that's getting a lot of run.
That's another one too.
They'll be hyping it.
It's a short series.
Yeah, they'll be hyping it.
Yeah, I imagine he'll be at FanDome as well.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we got, maybe they would mention, I guess during the Batman panel about this Gotham / Arkham HBO Max show, Gotham PD, whatever it's morphed into, and then of course this recently announced Penguin series that we talked about on a previous show. So I don't know if they'll mention those because I don't know where they're at in far as
I feel like they're pretty far down the line.
Yeah, for sure. So I do know, just to plug some things, you are this is going to be on the Iceberg Lounge, right? You're doing a live show.
Yeah, we're going to do a live post-game show on the Straight Outta Gotham YouTube channel sometime around 5:30, 6 o'clock the day of FanDome. A little post-game recap. It'll be me, Eric, Lauer, Haas, and hopefully Garrett will join us. And you never know who else might stop by. Maybe we'll be lucky enough for,
you never know.
Good old Dick Shoes to stop by, and say hello.
Dick Shoes ain't watching FanDome.
He's so pumped. He can't wait for Aquaman 2. He's so excited.
You never know who may show up. It is announcer Rachel's birthday Saturday. I got to figure out what's going on. I am going to do just a social hour, not live, not directly after, probably maybe Sunday or Monday. Probably I'll try to do it Sunday morning, talk about the Batman trailer. And my son Mike, I was going to tell you this, he's live streaming the whole thing on his channel at YouTube, the whole 4 hours. Yeah. So I'll have something on that, on Batman on Film, if you want to follow along during FanDome. And then after that, you just jump right on over to Iceberg Lounge and watch the post-game show with Pete and the boys. So, all right. So did you see the images from the Batman Lego sets that were released, or is this something you were avoiding?
I did.
Okay, all right.
I did. Outside of Alfred, it doesn't seem like anything we haven't seen in a trailer.
Okay, so nothing that was overtly spoilerish for you.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
I did post a warning when I posted those images in the story on Batman on Film, just in case. But yeah, I mean, there is an Alfred. Our first look at Alfred was Lego Alfred from the Batman. And as I suspected, this Alfred has got a full head of hair and a beard as well.
So he looks like Andy Serkis.
He looks like Andy Serkis. Yes, sir.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Hey, I'll take this as a kind of a victory. We haven't had an Alfred with facial hair since, I believe, Alan Napier, right? Of the TV show.
Yeah, he had a mustache.
Yeah, so, we're going in the right direction. We're finally getting another Alfred with facial hair.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a meltdown will some folks have the fact that Andy Serkis is not bald and have a pencil thin mustache?
But how can they? Was Michael Caine bald?
He was not.
Michael Goff wasn't bald either.
He was not.
I mean, I don't know. I'll give that like a 4.
Okay. Now you know that people are going to have. Yeah. What is because Andy Serkis is
somebody will complain about it.
He is a great motion capture actor as well.
Mm-hmm.
Played Caesar, right?
He was good in the MCU movies that I saw him in. He popped
Okay.
up in a few of them.
And so they could have just he could have done motion capture Alfred and made him look exactly like the comic book version. Make him look like what's the guy's name? William Austin, who played. That's who Alfred was based on. Alfred was originally a short, fat dude in the comics.
I prefer the BTAS version of Alfred. That's always like my definitive image of Alfred.
So yeah.
But I've never once complained about an Alfred that we've got. Also, what's his name? He just played Alfred recently in the Snyder movies. He wasn't bald either. So yeah, it's escaping me.
Jeffrey Lyons, as Dick Shoes would say.
Jeffrey Lyons.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons. He was not bald either. So, look, even the Alfred in that show we don't speak of was pretty damn good. So I don't think we've ever gotten a bad live action Alfred.
Alfred is more about what he is to Batman and Bruce Wayne than it is about aesthetics. But of course, aesthetics are everything, Pete. Aesthetics are everything. If it's not comic book accurate, it doesn't count. You know that, right?
I've heard that. I think that's big on the interwebs.
Yes. So, yeah, that's the way that goes. So, anyway, I thought the Legos. Are you a Lego guy? You collect those stuff?
I don't. My brother's a big Lego guy. He loves Legos, so he might get them for his birthday or something.
I do. One thing I'm getting, I got the. Well, you can't. Well, we're me and Pete can see each other now, but you're listening. You can't. I do have the Batman Lego cowl. Yeah.
I didn't like the way that looked. I thought it looked funky.
It looks better in person after you put it together, because I would agree with you. Yeah. And then I am getting, and it's available now, according to Ryan Lauer, the 66 Adam West Lego cowl. Same thing, but yeah.
Wow. All right. I'll check that out.
So I'm getting that. I'll probably go pick up something. I don't have much patience, if you didn't know that. And Legos, I get frustrated sometimes with the Lego, putting those together. So, but
that's what Jake's for.
Yes. Unfortunately, Jake has my disposition. So, so we did put up. When he was a kid, we put some Lego stuff together. But anyway, I wouldn't mind getting something from the Batman. I know there's like there's a smaller like Batman Catwoman set that doesn't have it doesn't have 10 million pieces to it. So it's like the others. But it also, we saw, it gives a look at the Batcave a little bit, the Lego version, but it is based on the films, and it
looks just like what I saw in the trailer.
It looks like the trailer, I thought it was interesting that you see Wayne Terminal on it. So it's going to be, where exactly is this Batcave located? Is going to be cool to find out. It
almost makes you wonder, is this Batcave in the city?
Yeah.
Right? Wayne Terminal, is this an old, unused, abandoned
underground sure
thing?
Yeah.
Almost Ninja Turtles like.
Yeah. And that, and remember in the Arkham games, was it Arkham City? There was a whole underneath old Gotham that existed.
And in Detective Comics, he recently had like an underground cave within the city to be close to the action and such. Yeah. So it's not uncommon.
Yeah. So I thought it was. Look, here's the thing: if you're avoiding that, it's going to be hard to avoid, because this is stuff that's getting released officially, and we're getting closer to the film, so more of the merchandise is going to be coming out.
I wonder when the McFarlane toys are coming out.
Yeah. Well, look,
it seems Lego... like outside of the Suicide Squad, Todd McFarlane has been a little slow to the DC toys. Like Birds of Prey is finally getting their Harley Quinn released after the movie was released how many years ago, right? Zack Snyder's Justice League, those toys just hit shelves. So we'll see what happens for the Batman.
The Lego stuff is available like the 4th of November.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's 3 weeks from now, basically.
I just ordered the 66 Batmobile off Target.com. So, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that Todd's going to make a car for this movie.
Yeah.
He's already made like 3 Bat vehicles, and it's got that giant Bigfoot from Death Metal that's coming out. So there's no doubt in my mind we're going to get another car soon. So
yeah,
that's really exciting. The last 2 Mattel cars for the Snyder movies were horrible. Like arguably like 2 of the worst. They were the 2 worst toy versions of the Batmobile ever released, in my opinion. So hopefully Todd, you know, can step it up a little bit. I'm excited.
Yeah, look, we're halfway through October already. The film is coming out in March. The holiday, Christmas, and all that.
I figure they want those toys got to be out come December.
Well,
right?
My point is the damn Lego sets
Christmas
come out in November. You know, November 4th. So I suspect that more stuff's coming. I mean, that's,
you know, hopefully this trailer generates a ton of buzz and everyone gets pumped for it and kids get excited. And what kid doesn't want a brand new Batman action figure?
I'm still saying that you got to have a spot for the Batman at the Super Bowl this year. I mean, it's literally like the movie comes out like 3 weeks.
First time since Begins, correct?
Yeah, Begins had one, and I get why, because it was a reboot. But I'm just saying.
That's what this is.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. I mean, it's right there. You mean it's 3 weeks away. It's not like this is an August release or July release, you know. And the Super Bowl is February. You got a captive audience right there with a lot of.
How happy would you be to have the Cowboys up 15 at the Super Bowl at halftime and then see the Batman trailer?
I've been in a good mood for 4 weeks straight now, Pete. Because, you know, my mood is dictated by during the fall is Dallas by the Cowboys. So
you must be pretty happy. The Giants are bad. The team formerly known as the Redskins are not very good, right? How are the Eagles?
They're, I don't know, whether they 2 and 3.
Okay, so
Cowboys smoked them as well.
The Gumbies. That's what I found out they called the Gumbies.
Look, all I'm worried about, I'm not worried about how bad the other NFC East teams are. I just know that this Cowboys team is pretty damn good this year.
Good for you.
They're pretty damn good this year. They have an offense it's hard to keep up with and stop. So, and the defense is getting turnovers. It's been great. Oh, speaking of that, we're on a sports tangent. How long were you bummed out about the Yankees losing
every
to the Red
game
Sox?
the Red Sox win makes me bummed out.
Okay, so here's what
I've been miserable for like 2 weeks.
Here's what I want to ask you.
Go for it.
The American League Championship Series.
I'm rooting for Houston.
You are rooting for Houston.
I
for
can't
real.
Red Sox. Yeah.
You can't. Okay.
I can't. I'm rooting for the National League. Like whoever wins the National League pennant is who I'm rooting for.
All right.
But I the last thing I need is the Red Sox to hang another pennant.
Okay.
You know?
I was going to ask that because
at this point, the Astros are like the Patriots. Like they cheated, they got caught, and they're still winning. So now it's like, okay, I respect you because you still got it. Okay. I'm pissed off because you robbed baseball fans out of what could be a real true dynasty, you know, because you didn't need to do it to win. So, but they're a good ball club. They're a damn good ball club.
Yeah, they are a good ball club. They are.
Can't take it away from them.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us about Batman: The Audio Adventures.
Here's the deal. I think there's 10 episodes on HBO Max. So if you have HBO Max, you can listen to 10. On your favorite podcast platform, they've released 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've listened to so far. And I think it's pretty good. I think it's fun. It's like, I wrote in one of my reviews, like, you know, it makes me feel like, what's his name from A Christmas Story? You know, like I'm sitting there with my Ovaltine, listening to radio program. it's Ralphie. It's fun. There are a few negatives. I think the guy who voices Two-Face is a little underwhelming. I think Kenan Thompson is not very good as Commissioner Gordon. This Gordon seems to remind me more of the Gordon we see on Harley Quinn, the animated show, as opposed to what we're used to, the serious Gordon. This Gordon seems kind of like a joke. But overall, it's really good. I think Jeffrey Wright is a good choice. His voice has gotten better in the 2 episodes I've listened to.
That's crazy. He's Gordon in the Batman, and he's voicing Batman in these animated.
Just following the steps of Ben McKenzie, right?
Yeah, sure.
So overall, it's cool. There's a lot of PSAs and there's a lot of like funny stuff in between that separate the segments. Then it's a nice little romp around Gotham City. The production value is wonderful. The music and the side effects really put you in a place where you can visualize things in your head without seeing anything. I'm interested to see what it's like on HBO Max. I was talking to Haas about it. And he says, like, while you're watching it on HBO Max, that radio thing, like their kind of like logo or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It kind of does stuff. And I was like, okay, I got to check that out. So I'll see what happens.
Okay.
When I'll watch episode 3.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Melissa Villasenor, who plays Robin, I think does a fantastic job. Rosario Dawson was great as Catwoman. She had like my favorite tale of the 2 episodes. Haven't heard John Leguizamo as a Riddler yet, but you know, I got very few nitpicks. Overall, I think it's a solid little fun time. You know, I'm not used to like audio versions or dramatizations on podcasts, so this is a first for me, and I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, so it reminds me a little bit when I was a kid, and I have some of these somewhere still. There used to be like Batman and Superman. I remember Batman and Superman. I think there was even Star Trek stuff, but they were like, it was a comic book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially with a record in it, vinyl, which have made a comeback. So, which is crazy, but because when I was a kid, it was records and 8-track tapes. That's what I had. And so you could play the record and read along with the story, panels. And it was, a full production with,
cool.
sound effects and all that stuff. So, this kind of reminds me of that in a way. It does remind me of the radio shows, Superman has,
there's
radio
a Superman
show.
radio show on iTunes that you can purchase. I bought it not too long ago.
Is it the old one from the 40s?
I believe so, and I used to listen to it on my commute into the city, and it was fun. The show is ridiculous. Like it was like the mystery of like Superman's missing cape. It's not like him saving the world versus Lex Luthor or anything like that, or Parasite or Zod or anything. But like they're just fun, lighthearted shows, and I think that's what this is. This what fits in tone, and I'm digging it. Like, how many have you listened to?
I have started episode 1, and I just haven't had time I can't just sit and binge it. But I'm going to. But I did want to bring it up because
quick 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're reviewing the episodes for Batman on Film. You have the first 2 episodes reviewed or up on this website, and you also
as the comic book. Yeah,
the comic book too. And you were
which was kind of bummer.
You were underwhelmed by that a little bit.
Yeah, here's the thing: if you're going to charge me $10 for a book, it better be a knockout book. And 4 out of the 9 stories I liked, so I gave it a C. But you're a teacher. That's less than half. That's not good.
Yeah.
So that's an F. But the stories that were good, and I enjoyed them. But
how's the artwork?
The artwork's okay. The artwork's fine. It brings me back to like Brave and the Bold, Scooby-Doo mysteries.
Okay.
It's not like heavily stylized, heavily detailed, but it's just it's got a little bit of Darwin Cook in it.
Okay.
It's that type of artwork.
Yeah.
And it was enjoyable. The artwork wasn't the problem. Some of the stories.
I glanced through it through the early reviewing copies we get, and I didn't read any of the stories, but that's the same kind of vibe I got with the artwork.
Yeah.
It was that's kind of
the guy who voiced Two-Face helped co-write the Two-Face story, and that's actually very good.
Okay.
That's one of the best stories in the book.
Okay,
so
cool.
And arguably, I think one of the greatest Two-Face stories ever written. Like it's that good. It just stinks that it's in a clunker of an issue instead of having its own time to shine.
Have you seen No Time to Die yet?
I haven't. I was going to go see it last weekend, but I kind of fell sick, so I didn't get a chance to. But I did see Venom.
What'd you think about Venom?
I like the first one more.
Okay.
But this was, it's in. If you like Venom, then you'll like this one.
I think it isn't.
whether-
I haven't seen either, but Venom it is like it is what it is. It knows what it is.
It's very self-aware.
It wants to be what it is, and either
Yeah.
you like that or you don't, right?
Yeah, to me it feels very like mid 90s, early 2000s comic book movie, where they're not taking the source material so seriously, but they're kind of putting their own spin on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is by design or just by default because they can't use certain elements because of Spider-Man and stuff. I don't know, because the Venom and the symbiote, their origin's so closely tied to Spider-Man. So it's kind of interesting how they have to do things a little bit different.
Isn't Venom? It's set in the world of Spider-Man, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Like
It's
like,
been I mean, I guess we could talk spoilers now because it's been out so long, but they set it up for a versus movie.
yeah.
It's set up for Spider-Man versus Venom.
Okay.
Whether that's Spider-Man 4 or Venom 3, I don't know, but it's I gotta say, like, kudos to Sony. Like, I kind of like the fact that they're kind of giving it to Feige a little bit, like they're gonna do what they want and they own the rights to Spider-Man, so they can do what they want with Spider-Man. And
Well, yeah,
they'll use that MCU magic to make that money, and they're pretty high on themselves. I know they got Morbius coming out.
Morbius, yeah.
And they're very confident post Spider-Verse as well. So, and we all know, like, this isn't anything crazy. Like, we all know these movies are connected to the MCU because, again, we saw Keaton in the Morbius trailer as the Vulture.
Yes.
So you already knew all this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Hey, make it. They're making the Batman verse. I mean, come on, give me a Spider-Man verse. So that's fine with me as well.
We'll see what happens after No Way Home, because that seems to have really opened the floodgates.
I've brought up No Time to Die. I haven't seen it yet either, but my son Micah saw it and didn't give me any spoilers, but he just said it's got a little bit of Dark Knight Rises in it,
Oh, then I should love it.
and it's essentially, I mean, this Bond, starting with Casino Royale, is a self-contained story with a beginning and end, and just like the Dark Knight trilogy, Casino Royale was inspired by Batman Begins as far as, doing a reboot with all that type of stuff. Because
that's still my favorite one.
Yeah, it's a good one. And all the Bond films up to then, it was just they continued on, and there were different Bonds and actors came and went and so forth. But it was still, it was essentially the same continuity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like Burt and Schumacher.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember, because I'm teasing something here, and I just want to get your opinion, because I'll explain mine later. Way back, probably early 2000s, about the time that Nolan got hired to do what became Batman Begins, and then eventually spawned the Dark Knight trilogy. I wrote an article on Batman on Film about Batman needs to be like Bond, and my whole premise was, it should be this never-ending, single continuity series of films, just like the Bond has been doing it since the 60s. There is some, and I was dead ass wrong. I was completely wrong about that. I have become a proponent of self-contained stories that exist within 3 films, maybe 5 films, like the Craig Bond films did. And reboot. It doesn't matter to me to reboot a franchise or in character like the Batman. I mean, Spider-Man has done it 3 times now. We had the Sam Raimi films. You had the films with Andrew Garfield, who starred in, the Amazing Spider-Man films, and now you've got the what's his name? What's the kid?
Holland.
Tom Holland films. And with Batman, you've had the Burton Schumacher films, you had the Dark Knight trilogy, you had the brief blip of with Ben Affleck, because it wasn't really solo Batman, and now you've got the Batman. So I'm writing a story about article about this, and it'll be up on Batman on Film sometime this week. But what's your take? Do you like these? Because I think you get to a point, Pete. I mean, you just keep going and going and going. You're going to run it into the ground at some point, you know?
I think you could run it into the ground either way, to be honest with you. Here's the thing. I honestly don't care as long as the story's good. Like, that's it. I just want a well-written piece of entertainment, a movie that makes me laugh, cry, and have emotion. You know, like that's really what it's about. Just give me something that I can connect to. But if you're going to do Batman like those kind of like more Connery Bonds, you know, you might run into a bit of an issue if every director kills off a villain. You know, Joker dies, Penguin dies, stuff like that, because you never know, like someone might come along in that continuity and he might be a perfect fit for a certain character.
And you're beholden to what came before to a certain extent.
Yeah. But to be honest, like, you know, it's just put out a solid quality product, and I think that's all that anyone really cares about. And you know, that we got that what begins into the trilogy, not so much with what came after, because that kind of, you know, divided everybody. And you know,
it looks like
all about the quality of the content.
It looks like this Bond film is getting some of the same reaction that The Dark Knight Rises got, where there's some fans that
Justin will hate it then.
They can't. Well, you can't grasp the fact that the story is ending. You know, that he's actually ending the story.
See, that's the thing. It's like, if you're a fan of this stuff, especially like a fan of like superheroes, when does the story ever end? Right.
Well, that's
Dark Knight Returns is like the end of Batman, correct? Like it should be the last Batman story ever told.
Sure, I'm with you, but that's what we get in comic books. Comic books is a different medium, you know?
Yeah, but even in film, like, you know, Bond's coming back.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a stinker, he'll be back sooner rather than later, right? And that goes for all these characters. You know, and these characters are bigger than us, so they'll be around a lot longer than we are. So
yeah,
to think we'll never see a movie about this character again is ridiculous.
No, that's true. We know we're going to get another. You know, look, we're getting the Batman. The Dark Knight Rises ended that Batman story. That's a different Batman. We're getting, you know, the Batman we're getting here in 4.5 months or whatever now is a different Batman and different story and different world.
And it didn't take 7 years like it did between BNR and Begins. Like, from Justice League to the Batman is a very short window.
Yes. 10 years. It'll be 10. I will say, solo movie wise, it'll be a decade. Yeah, from Rises to the Batman. But yeah, we know Bond's coming back. It'll be a different James Bond. It'll be a different continuity. Maybe Chris Nolan does a Bond trilogy.
And that'll be fun because there's a lot of guys. People mention, what's his name? The guy who plays Loki for him. Some people want Cavill. Some people have mentioned Idris Elba. Like, you know,
yeah.
Like, this is the fun part too. Like, okay, well, let's enjoy this movie. I'm going to go see it at some point.
Yeah.
I might not see it before I see Halloween, but I'm definitely going to go see it. But enjoy this movie for what it is. Enjoy this run of Daniel Craig movies. And then the speculation for who takes over.
I mean, yeah, when I see it,
that's the fun part.
Daniel Craig may be my favorite Bond, and I grew up a Connery guy, you know.
I like them all. Like, well, I know Timothy Dalton's at the bottom of everyone's list.
I think he was
pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's underrated.
More Connery. I love all the Bond movies. I think they're
George
fun.
Lazenby.
Yep. Yeah. Even the bad ones.
So I guess what I'm getting to is that we get this Bond, we've got the Craig Bond, we're going to get a new Bond, and whatever director comes in, and I know the Bond films are very producer driven, but I think they're resorting to the Dark Knight trilogy model where, okay, it would be such a great. I mean, if they pulled getting Chris Nolan to do a Bond series, would be great. I mean, and you know, and it's Bond.
I wonder if a British director that's like the creme de la creme of like movies, you know, to do Bond. I wonder if there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan wants to do one. He's always asked about it. I mean, he was asked on that Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, which was about a year old, that Dick Shoes thought was last week. If doing Tenet got got Bond out of his system, and he basically said, "No, not really. That's a different thing." But I'd love to see him do Bond, and I just, I don't want the next Bond to be what we saw, that the take with the Craig take, or I don't want to go back and have someone ripping off of Sean Connery either. Let's do something different. I mean, you can be faithful to the characters like Batman or Bond or whatever, and still put your own spin on stuff. It can be different. So anyway, look, I've completely changed my mind on that stuff. We're at a day and age where it's a very powerful.
I can't wait till you change your mind about Batman Returns.
That never happened.
It's coming. It's happening.
Hey, I said it a million times.
In the duck.
I'll watch that thing on a loop for 24 hours, 7 days a week, as opposed to some of this other stuff that I will not mention.
When I'm coming to watch the Batman, I'm bringing my copy of Batman Returns, and we're going to watch it.
Okay. All right.
You heard it. He said it was okay.
I said okay. And I was making sounds. All right. So go ahead. I plug your stuff. Plug the FanDome event again. Plug the Batman automated audio adventures stuff we got on you doing, and everything else. Go ahead.
You can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram is Zack Snyder's favorite Vero, at Pete Illustrated. You can follow podcast number 1, Straight to Gotham, straight_O_G, that I co-host with Eric Holzman. We are going to do a FanDome podcast live stream, post-game